City Power in Johannesburg is investigating claims of nepotism and the selling of about 200 vacant posts. On Monday, City Power employees were prevented from entering their offices when protesters blocked them. The group claimed they were people who applied for some of the positions that were advertised. To give us a bit more clarity is the spokesperson for the utility in Johannesburg, that is Isaac Mangena. Thank you so much for talking to me, Isaac. So what's up with selling 200 positions at City Power?
So let me start by clarifying that, or rather confirming that we actually had post of trade assistance that we advertised in May, where we looked at employing the new assistants to fill certain positions within the organization, about 200 of those positions. But we received about 9,000 applications that were received by City Power, and those who met the requirements were basically called in to do the written assessments. And from the assessments, only the successful were selected and appointed. So about the selling of the positions, I'm not sure about that one, and that is something that we have decided to investigate following the meeting that we held with the protesters. These are some of the people that claim to have paid certain amounts of monies to some of the City Power officials to ensure that they get employment, but they did not manage to go through. So we want to basically get to the bottom of this to know if this is true or not.
So because there are specific amounts that are being mentioned, for instance, in the reporting of News 24, for example, they are citing some of the people that they spoke to as saying that they paid up to 3,500 rand for a position. That would be concerning.
Yes, indeed, it is very much concerning for us as City Power, and that's why immediately when we get wind of this, in fact, the CEO of City Power, Mr. Mangena, met with the protesters and basically gave an undertaking that we will basically get to the bottom of this by investigating these allegations, because to us, we see City Power as an equal employer. Every person that is selected to be part of City Power, an extra effort is put in to ensure that we recruit the best, and the processes are supposed to be transparent and above board. And so when we had this, we quickly ensured that we need to basically ensure that we investigate so that those that could have been wronged or cheated out of their monies for the positions at City Power should really also get justice. So this today, the CEO is meeting with Group Forensic at the City of Johannesburg to hand over this investigation to them to ensure that it is done by someone not within City Power, because we believe that it would just be a whitewash if we have to investigate ourselves as City Power. So that this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing today to ensure that Group Forensic.
Isaac, I don't know what's happening with your network there. Just your sense, though, of you're saying you received 9,000 applications for 200 trade assistant posts. It makes sense in the context of unemployment that we face in South Africa, that demand for any work opportunity. From your side, though, pending the investigation, what's your sense of how well or how badly the recruitment process was run?
We believe that the recruitment process, every effort was made by the team that was dealing with this recruitment process to ensure that it is run efficiently and to ensure that every applicant whose application was received gets an opportunity to be there. So with the 9,000 and in the midst of this COVID-19, what we decided to do was to basically call them in to do written assessments. One of the complaints that we received was that they wanted a one-on-one engagement. So between you and me, that wouldn't have been possible in the midst of this pandemic, and also because of the agency under which we were operating, because we needed to basically push to get these 200 positions filled. The positions emanated from the fact that we promoted 100 trade assistants into electricians as part of our winter strategy. You know, during winter, this is our peak season, and so we needed more workforce to ensure that we deal with this issue and deal with the problems of the backlog. But over and above that, we also decided to add more 100 trade assistants to ensure that every electrician is paired with a trade assistant. So that's why we needed to ensure that we deal with this. So the number was very huge, 9,000, as you rightfully pointed out, that turned up, and all of those were basically given this opportunity to do assessment in a period of about 8 to 5 days.
Isaac, your network is sort of failing us at this point, but let me ask you one last question. I know you to be a consummate professional in the area of communications, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. The promise of an investigation is the easiest tactic to deflect and to basically pacify people when they have grievances. You being the consummate professional that I know you to be, I'd like you to make the undertaking, not to me, not to Thulasizwe Simelane, that you will follow through and you will call us. We won't have to call you when Group Forensics has done the investigation, so that these 9,000 people who applied for these positions in an economy that is not yielding too many jobs will be comforted that actually there was indeed an investigation, and they'll be able to see it reflected prominently, the outcome of that investigation. You take the floor and make that undertaking.
I do make that undertaking, Thulasizwe, on behalf of City Power, that we will make sure that this process is run efficiently and ensure that we move with speed to ensure that those that seek employment those that City Power and are qualified to get the opportunity to come through. So I will give you a call. I will come back to eNCA and let you know how that went about. We also wanted to ensure that this happens as soon as possible. That's why we put a date of next week, Wednesday, to ensure that we give feedback to all those potential employees that came through to City Power to present their memorandum.
On the record, that is Isaac Mangena. He speaks on behalf of City Power. You've heard for yourself, so do look out for him calling us. We won't have to call him. He will call us to report back to ensure that this is not just another pacifier strategy that says we will investigate and nothing ever comes of it.